Hi everyone, this is Clara with Card Stampin' with Clara, back with you again this week to show you some more cards. This week we're going to be featuring the needle and thread set of stamps. I wasn't quite sure about this to start with. Wasn't quite sure what I could do with it, but I found out that it is, I like it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I really like it a lot once I got started. It's got some really nice sentiments in it, like happiest birthday to you, get well soon, friend, sending you happiness and love, thank you, and people like you make the world a better place. And what this set does is it makes your card look like that it has been sewn, hand stitched, like someone had done some special hand stitching. So we're going to use this set. I'm going to use one sentiment out of the waterfront set today. Every little kindness makes the world brighter. This comes from our annual catalog, and got a little piece of paper in there. Anyway, I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to use the Stitch Labels Framelits dies. And I didn't purchase this as a bundle to start with, and I wish I had. Actually, I earned it and it was given to me, but I really wish I had the framelits for this particular set. But for this particular video, I'm going to use this for the sentiment, and I'm going to use this pretty label. Let's see if I can slide this one out. There we go. This one to cut out the larger label, which I really, really like. I am using this set more and more all the time, and it's just so versatile. If you don't have this set, it's really one to look at because you can use it for so many things. Okay, now for the card. This is the card that we're featuring this week. It says, friends make good times better. And then on the inside, every little kindness makes the world brighter. So, I wanted to show you this paper that is part of this particular coordinated set of paper, and the stamp set and the dies and what have you. And this is called the Needlepoint Nook Designer Series paper. And it is so pretty. I mean, if you love flowers, this is going to steal your heart. I assure you of that. But in this one, I used the Grapefruit Grove, and I used some little metallic pearls as accents. And as you can see, here are the two dies that I used. And then on the inside, I did use, this was one of the sentiments from the needle and thread set. This is the one that came from the waterfront set. You know Clara, she's stumbling and bumbling trying to get her information out here this morning, and I apologize, but sometimes my brain just doesn't click right. I'm going to move over and show you this card next, which is using the exact same paper, and I use Balmy Blue instead of the Grapefruit Grove on this one. And I used another one of those dies from that same set to kind of make this a little fancier, I guess. And I cut out some flowers because I didn't have the die set. But, oh, I wish I had bought that one. And I may go back and do it yet. But anyway, then on the inside, people like you make the world a better place. And then I stamped some little flowers at the bottom too. So those two cards are made from exactly the same paper. The colors are just accented differently, and you know, it's amazing how just the border and the labels and that sort of thing can make a card look so much different. But I wanted you to see that side by side. So that's one of the cards for this week. Another card I made was a thank you card. I stamped the pretty flower and some butterflies and what have you, and I experimented a little bit with some scrap paper that I had, and I glued some little blocks together, and then I cut out some rings to accent this coastal cabana. So I thought that turned out pretty well, all things considered. And then this pretty little stamp is part of this set too, down at the bottom. So I really like that one. This one says Happiest Birthday to You. And this has got the leaf edgelets. Well, they're not called leaf edgelets, but they are from that Floral Romance set. And I took the stamps and I just stamped different colors according to what I liked on a piece of Whisper White on this one, and tried to coordinate it, and then on the inside, sending you love and happiness, or happiness and love. And you can see I'm a little dyslexic, but anyway. I also made a Get Well card. And the Get Well card, I used different colors on this. This is the Poppy Parade. And I used some more metallic pearls on this one. And, you know, just different colors. Grapefruit Grove and Daffodil Delight. And I believe this one was Garden Green. And on the inside, put wishing you a quick and complete recovery with little butterflies and some flowers down here. So that's very simple, but, you know, sometimes simple is really good, I think. This is another Get Well take on this particular same set, same flower, and this is sort of a monochromatic design where I just stamped with the Coastal Cabana onto Coastal Cabana. And then I used a piece here for the label and put the sentiment out of this same set. And then I, on the inside, I stamped I Hope You Feel Better Soon. And there is we have a punch that has a trio. It's a trio punch. You have this one, and then it will round your corners, and it will just punch you a little hole. So I use that on this one, which I think gives a nice accent to the inside. Okay. Whoops. This one, I still have some of this gingham left, and I really like the gingham, so I put some of that on here. And then the friend stamp, and there again, I just used the stamps and put them in a different orientation. Same thing on the inside, just to make it look a little bit different. And the last one, I used the basket weave embossing folder and the layering framelits, circular framelits on this one. And stamped some flowers and butterflies, and you know, used a different kind of label at the bottom, and sending you happiness and love. And then you can see these little dots along the bottom. That's also, it looks like stitching, is what it looks like. And I also used our rectangular stitching framelits on this one to kind of bring everything all together. So there you go. Those are the cards that I made this week. And I'm going to make this same card that I showed you to start with. This Friends Make the Good Times Better. And I'm going to make it in a different color. Just so you can get another picture of what it would look like in a different color. Got my little bag here. And this is what we're going to use. All right, I have a card base of thick Whisper White. It is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4. So there's the card base. I stamped with the Balmy Blue onto Balmy Blue for the inside sentiment. People like you make the world a better place. And then this, you know, I really like that kind of delicate look on the inside with the blues. They, you know, instead of appearing kind of maybe harsh, or, you know, if you just like something toned down a little bit. On the outside, we will layer this second piece of balmy blue, and the inside in this one are exactly the same size. They're 4 inches by 5 1/4. So that gives you a little border all the way around. And then this is another piece of the DSP from that same needlepoint Nook package of paper. And I just thought this was really cute too. You can see the difference. This one's got a little more red in it. This one's got a little bit more of a berry colored in it. And but we're using different colors, so you can see the difference. But I really like this pattern too, so I wanted to use it. And on this one, it's got stripes on the back and with the green. So that's another option in this set. And the one that I used here has got kind of a lavender stripe on the back of it. Just saying, so that you'll have a little bit more information. But this one is measuring 3 3/4 by 5 to layer onto the balmy blue. And I took that die I showed you and I cut out this label. And as you can see, this is such a pretty label. That's just why that this set is becoming one of my favorites, and I just love to use it on all kinds of things. And then we'll, of course, put this on top, and it's another one of those dies in the same set. So we're going to put this thing together, and you will see that it goes together very easily. And it's nothing particularly hard or fancy about it, but I think you'll see that it's a pretty card when we're done. I always like to assemble, you know, kind of 1 or 2 layers at a time. If you put the blue on before you put this on, it's just a little harder to get it lined up. So that's why I start this way. I will put this piece, which will be the first essential piece, onto the balmy blue, and we'll go from there. I'm using the Mono Liquid multi-purpose glue, and I try not to get it too thick. Just enough. You know, sometimes little is more. You don't want big lumps of glue underneath your paper, and I just try to get enough. And I've found you don't have to get real close to the edges, and if you don't get real close to the edges, then you don't have glue gushing out from the side, and then you don't have a mess to clean up. So I'm going to see if I can hold this up so I can see what it's going to look like before. If you're going to move it any, you've got to do it before it sits down, and I'm going to press in that direction because it just looks like that'd be the best way to press. Now then, once you've got that on, you can glue that to your card base. Like I said, these are not hard cards to make. They're quite simple. They don't require a lot of materials to do. And you can make all kinds of cards from the same set, or just 1 or 2 sets. Okay. All right, I think that's okay. All right. Now then, as I did with layering this, I'm going to do the same thing with this label. I'm going to go ahead and glue this little one on to the blue. I just love this balmy blue. It's just a light, pretty blue. Let me move over here so you can see what I'm doing. I probably had it back next to me a little bit too much. Excuse me, I'm going to reach over and get my tweezers, these reverse tweezers that I love so much. There are a few changes coming, we've learned, in the next catalog. Let me go ahead and get this on. Like I've said, I cannot walk and chew chewing gum at the same time. I'm just one of those people. So I better keep my mouth a little under control while I'm doing this. Okay, I think that looks all right. Now, back to what I was saying. There's a few changes coming. We know, we don't know a lot about what's happening yet, but we do know that they are going to discontinue the Stampin' Trimmer. And if you are a person that has the Stampin' Trimmer, you might want to stock up on blades. The other thing we know is that the Big Shot die cutting machine is not going to be available in the next catalog. They're doing something different. They don't have it together yet, I don't think. So, you know, it's just up to you. If you've got something else to use, that's fine too. I frankly have grown to like my electric one. If you didn't join me in one of my other videos, I ruptured a tendon in my arm, and I had to go to an electric die cutting machine. It's really nice just to be able to push a button and run it through there. Okay, these are dimensionals. If you don't know, they come in a little pack on paper like this, and as you can see, this is almost empty, so I'll pull one of these new ones out. This is what it looks like in a pack. And I'm going to put some of these dimensionals on the back of this. And it will kind of give it a little bit of dimension. And if you're using these, by all means, use your edges, because that'll save you a little bit, and it does just as good. And sometimes these little pieces fit inside in little places that otherwise a big one might not fit in. I'll put about one more, and that ought to be enough. Looks kind of like a mess on the bottom, but it doesn't matter because we're going to flip it over and it'll just help hold it. Okay, we've got these little protective covers, if you don't know, and you just have to flick them off with something. This is my old pointy tool, but I've got another one over here. I just reached for this one. For me, whatever is handy works. Okay, almost got this. All right, there we go. Now, we're going to take this and we're going to place it right wherever you want it in the middle. I mean, you know, in the middle of the card. I mean, I like my things kind of symmetrical. Other people don't. I'm learning to branch out a little bit and put things in different positions. Okay, there we go. And we won't put the metallic pearls on until I get the inside finished, and then we'll put them on. All right, moving on to the inside is this pre-stamped page here, and you know, you stamp with whatever you have. The Stamparatus works really nice when you're stamping, and especially if you've got a couple of things you want to stamp onto the same page or the same piece of cardstock. Okay, let me see now. And I say, do whatever works to be able to get this stuff to line up so it looks nice and even and what have you, like you've done a quality job. I mean, at first it'll take some practice if you've not done this before, but you get better at it all the time, and it'll become easier and easier. All right, now for the little pearls. This is what they come in a package of. That one right there. I might need a little more sticky on that one. Well, that one is running away from me. Let me pick up my other tool. There we go. This is the pick your tool instrument, because you have options that you might not have with like that old one I had there. Like I said, I just picked it up because it was out. I'm using the smaller pearls is what I'm using on this one. And I think you do better to put like 1 or 3. It's recommended that you don't use even numbers. Why, I'm not sure, but it does, the odd numbers do seem to look better. Let me lay that over. But the pearls come like this. And they also come with a gold tint as well. All right. There you go. Now, how quick and easy was that? Now we have 2 different kinds of paper and different colors, but the same dies and the same pearls. And I just think that this one I put a liner in of the Grapefruit Grove, and this one I did not. I just used the Balmy Blue and made that monochromatic look. So that's slightly different, but pretty much the same anyway. All right. That's it for the card itself. I would encourage you to be looking through the Occasions catalog, and if there's anything in there that you really like, you might go ahead and purchase it, because as of May 31st, I think that comes to an end. And I don't know, there may be some items carried over into the annual catalog that comes out the 1st of June, but we don't know. We don't know which ones, we don't know what's going to be in there. They're making some changes to things like the embossing folders and some of the dies. It's just going to be easier is what it amounts to identify them. Not much of a change at all. But do look through the Occasions catalog, and like I said, if any of these things catch your eye, this might be the time, because the one thing about Stampin' Up! Is they're changing things continually. And it's sometimes difficult to stay caught up with them, but change is good too, and because of that, we get new looks, new designs, new colors, and things all the time. So that's one thing you might do. The other thing is, I still have that paper pumpkin kit I'm trying to give away, and nobody seems to be interested in purchasing $25 to get a chance at it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it for a month, and the dates that it ends is on my website. That's cardstampinwithclara.com, and you can look at that, and we'll, at that point, if nobody has, if I don't have 10 people that want a chance to win that, I will do something different. I don't know what at this point in time, but we're going to put an end to it after a month. There's just no point letting it go on forever. So I'd appreciate you taking a look, and I don't think that there's anything else that we need to cover at this point. We do have, let me back up. We do have some really nice storage products that have just come out recently that you can put your ink, your pens, and things like that in. So you might take a look at my website. You'll see those there too. Check us out on Instagram, and we are slowly and meticulously trying to branch out as I get a handle on this and learn how to become a better demonstrator, I hope. So thank you for your time. Hope you have a great day. It's a little cloudy here in North Carolina today, but we've got to have those days too. It's warmed up, and that's nice. So I'll just say the good Lord bless you and keep you, and I will see you again in a week. And thank you so much for your time.